19-year-old Jakub Mensik just took down 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic in the finals of the 2025 Miami Open. Mensik was incredibly impressive this tournament, taking out Indian Wells champion Jack Draper, ascending superstar Arthur Fils, who's now up to 15 in the world, top 5 player Taylor Fritz in the semifinals, and maybe most impressive result of all, taking out Novak Djokovic. What a moment and what a performance from Jakub Mensik. I thought his serve was going to be the main thing that carried him through if he was going to have a chance to win this title. But not only did he serve pretty well and clutch in big moments, I thought that he held up so well in rallies. And he has an absolutely special combination of side and speed profile, similar to other guys his size like Tsitsipas, where he has the effectiveness of his height on his first serve, but that also doesn't limit his movement because he's not like a lanky 6'10", 6'11 guy like Isner, Opelka, or maybe even GMP at like 6'7". At 6'4", he has the ideal profile for a tennis player, and I think that he absolutely shined here. His first serve was an absolute weapon. Even against the great returning of Djokovic, it was basically nothing he could do. Half of the shots that Mensik was hitting were unplayable. He won over 77% of his first serve points. He only gave up one break in the match. But what makes me super excited about Mensik's game was his ability to defend. I think his backhand is absolutely a phenomenal shot. It held up with Djokovic's backhand, who is one of the best backhands we've ever seen in the game. Forehand, it was consistent. He didn't take a lot of risks. So with his combination of size, speed, his effectiveness on both wings, with his consistency, I think the young Jakub Mensik is going to be a problem for the rest of the tour. He's only 19 years old. He's now up to 24 in the live rankings. He doesn't have a lot of points to defend this year. I think with his style, he's going to be very effective on grass in quicker hardcore conditions. The kid has his whole career in front of him. I think he's only going to go up in the rankings from here. I think with his effectiveness on serve, his floor as a player is just so high where he's going to be a tough out for anybody to beat in any condition. By winning this Masters 1000 title, Mensik has absolutely cemented his name in the conversation of tennis going forward. A lot of guys were saying, oh, he's overshadowed by Fonseca. I think he's just the same amount of talent as him, but Zhao gets all the hype. Well, results don't lie. Mensik, Masters 1000 champion at 19 years old. He's absolutely going to be a star in the sport. He's not going away anywhere. I think he's a shy guy, so he doesn't always get the media press. But man, is his tennis entertaining and effective? Because taking out Novak Djokovic, even at 37 years old, is an absolutely impressive task for any tennis player. I don't think this was a down performance from Djokovic. He was struggling with this weird eye thing going into the match, and maybe that was a little uncomfortable. But I thought we saw a good level from Djokovic. I think we just saw an even better level from Jakub Mensik. And he was very calm under pressure. I thought a lot of times Djokovic was trying to up the stakes, but Mensik was stone cold, ruthlessly efficient. Throughout the entire tournament, he was 7-0 in tiebreakers. With how well he was serving and his ability to defend with his movement, he is going to be an absolute problem. Mensik is for sure going to be a star of our sport, and he absolutely solidified that with this Miami Open title. But now, let's talk about Novak Djokovic. Djokovic was serving incredibly well coming into this final. He was absolutely dominating his competition, taking out Korda, Dimitrov pretty routinely, absolutely demolished Musetti. The way Novak was looking coming into this final, I did not have very high hopes that Mensik would be able to beat him. Djokovic was serving unbelievable. It seemed that his movement was back and not inhibited by his hamstring injury anymore. I thought that this level of Djokovic was going to be too much for anyone not named Sinner and Alcaraz, and they were already out of the tournament. Even though Djokovic did lose this final, I think this is a good sign for him moving forward for the rest of the year. A run like this will help Djokovic get momentum going into this clay season, where he has a lot of points to pick up, especially in those Masters 1000s. With this finals run, he has now closed the gap on Taylor Fritz for that 4 seed, and I think it's only a matter of time before Djokovic reclaims that top 4 position and owns one of the quarters at the next Grand Slam. I'm pretty sure last year Djokovic only cared about winning the Olympics and getting that final trophy to complete tennis. But this year, I think he is going to prioritize the Grand Slams and get momentum going into slams, where last year he had to take time off to recover and didn't get to play a lot of these even 1,000 events. And I think the form that we've seen from Djokovic so far, he is going to be a threat to win these Grand Slams, even at 37 years old. I'm glad that he's still around. We should be grateful that he's still playing, because him being in the game still allows for moments like these. Jakub Mensik, a young prospect who has the world in front of him, got to solidify that he is a name on tour by getting the chance to play Djokovic. And the fact that he beat him, this is going to be one of these matches when we look back when Mensik is an established pro and say, hey, this is where it all started. This is where we're like, oh, Jakub Mensik, that's a name we got to look out for because he beat Djokovic. And at any stage of his career, beating Novak Djokovic in a tennis match is a very, very impressive accomplishment. So even though I was a Djokovic hater as a Federer fan growing up, I always rooted against Novak. I'm thankful that he took such good care of his body. He became an absolute machine and is still playing at a high level at this age because his presence still on tour helps boost all the other players and helps get more eyeballs on the sport. So thank you, Novak, for putting in the hard work and still playing tennis at such a high level. I think you're going to make it till 40, I hope, but even though I root against you most of the time, I am grateful that you're still in our sport and forever thankful for the work that you've done for this game. But to wrap up, it was an incredible Miami Open. It created so many storylines going into the clay season. Congrats to Jakub Mensik. You are now a star of the sport. Thank you, Djokovic, for still doing what you're doing. And thank you all for listening to me during this Miami Open talk about tennis. If you are enjoying, don't forget to subscribe and keep double faulting out there.